If there was ever a word we needed to define, it's the word happy. We all want to be happy. We're even willing to invest time, energy, and resources into our pursuit of happiness. The problem is, we don't even know what it means to be happy. I'm Tom Miller. I pastor at a church located in the heart of a great Wisconsin city called Superior. The church's Central Assembly, and the title of today's Fuel for the Fire, it's volume 720, is The Pursuit of Happiness. Most miss the mark in their pursuit of happiness because they associate happiness with pleasure. The thought is, the more pleasure we realize, the happier we must be. But it doesn't play out that way. Pleasure in its proper place can enhance happiness, but it's not intrinsically part of the equation. In fact, if you are subjected to constant pleasure, you eventually become depressed. Case in point, the guy who is supported by his parents into adulthood, and all he does is play video games in the basement of his parents' house. He should be the happiest guy on the face of the earth, but he's not. Why? Life is not designed to be lived with your finger on the pleasure button 24 hours a day. Life is meant to be balanced with duty, responsibility, work, rest, fun, leisure, and relationship. The unhappiest people in the world are driven by feelings. They are inconsistent and unreliable because they do what they feel like doing. Happy people are motivated by values and principles. Their behavior and actions are determined by what they believe is right. At the end of the day, they have something to feel good about. The happy person's week involves showing up on time for their job and earning their paycheck. They have faithfully read their Bible, they exercise, and they spend an appropriate amount of time with the ones they love. The unhappy person did those things too, but only when they felt like it. The feeling-driven person finds it hard to feel good about himself at the end of the day. They may have an inordinate amount of pleasure, but they are unhappy. Sleeping in, playing games, and appeasing all the appetites of the flesh is not the recipe for happiness. Ironically enough, it's a recipe for misery. The true definition of happiness is a life well lived. A life motivated by principle and discipline is a life we can feel good about. It turns out feelings are meant to be the caboose and not the engine. The key to the pursuit of happiness is not to hunt pleasure, but instead to devote yourself every day to a life well lived. Let your behavior be determined by your principles and keep your feelings in their rightful place. That's the way I see it, and that's a little fuel for the fire. And remember, I love you guys.